heart attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we begin, a lot of things have happened. We have the war between heroes and villains, and right now vigilantes are all caught in between. Now, in the last part, Deku was trying to get the girls and Eri out of the city because of the chaos that has been ensuing. Now, throughout the entire chaos, it's hard to tell who's villains, who's civilians, and who might be trying to save people. And that is a very big thing for Deku. Deku doesn't want to accidentally kill somebody who's just trying to defend themselves. So right now the best thing they can do is retreat and get out of there. Now, Deku did so. Right now they want to try and find a safe spot for Eri. And right now the safest spot is most likely outside of Japan. Now, while that's going on with him, there actually is over with the Paranormal Liberation Army, where they have plans right now to break All For One and Kirigiri out of jail, out of Tartarus prison, a high security prison that's basically on an island 5 kilometers outside of any area you can walk on. It's nothing but water. The only thing connecting that island to civilization is a bridge that can be collapsed manually piece by piece. Now, this island is very dangerous for many reasons. It keeps some of the strongest villains inside of it. And right now, Gigantomachia is making his way there. He is marching there to try and retrieve the master. Now, throughout the entirety of the chaos, the heroes, they get multiple reports coming in. But right now there's actually the report that comes in first, and it is the most alarming. The Hero Association gets reports that a Nomu broke into a prison, and the moment they hear about this, they start to see a pattern. There are villains causing chaos in cities, and then a Nomu breaks into a prison, and then they get reports on Gigantomachia. Gigantomachia is a very powerful creature. He isn't even considered to be human by the heroes. And right now, the fact is, he's marching in the direction of Tartarus. And that shows a lot of things are right now about to happen. And the moment those reports came in, the heroes had to get things in order. Right now, Mirio, he's heading to Tartarus to defend it. Hopefully, he can hold off Gigantomachia on his own. But right now, he's not too sure. Now, Mirio, he tries to save people along the way to Tartarus. However, right now, he needs to get there and defend it. Make sure that place does not fall. If Tartarus is broken into, the war will completely change in trajectory. Now, that happened. Right now, well, there's that. There actually is Deku. There's Deku 1 hour after the war started. He got out of the city and tried to make things right. He tried to calm Eri down, and they tried to get things in order. And then there was actually hours later, whenever it was nightfall, where Eri was asleep, and then Deku was trying to figure out what to do. They decided to get her out of Japan. And right now, there actually is after that 8 hours. Gigantomachia is still marching to the prison. And currently Deku, he is trying to find a plan to get Eri out of here. But while that's actually going on, there actually is on the radio multiple reports of incidents, multiple things happening. And Deku, he does try and piece things together. What is one thing happening here that would change things? One variable here that would harm things? And right now, Deku, he does actually come up with something. This all might be a distraction. It takes him a second to realize it. The emergency services being overwhelmed, the Hero Association being spread thin. Why exactly would all this be happening? if it's not just one city but two, why would there be distractions like this? And then there's actually the instance with the villains and the Meta Liberation Army. Why is all this happening? Now, Deku, he does have a theory, and right now, he is concerned about it. Because whenever Deku actually has tried to talk to a pro, whenever he gets somewhere safe, the pro, they're at least trying to talk everybody down, try and keep them calm, and stop them from having a full-blown, well, rampage, turn to a mob. Now, whenever the hero does actually see Deku, they do try to tell him to stay back and to calm down, and that they'll try and get safety evacuations in order. Now, there actually is Deku. He actually has taken the man's phone when the man tried to push Deku back. And the moment Deku does take the man's phone, he does immediately hack into it. Him looking at information, and right now actually trying to process it. He sees multiple reports all over Japan, on multiple things. And then there actually is one he does see. Tartarus Prison. Right now they've been put on high alert because of an incoming attack. And the moment Deku does see that, he immediately runs back over to the car, him dropping the phone as the pro notices that and tries to move towards to get it. The mob actually realizing that there's a phone on the ground and trying to either get at it or them unknowingly stepping on it. Now, Deku gets back over to the car, him immediately grabbing the keys and putting them into someone's hand, before telling them that right now, someone's going after All for One. Are you serious? Shit, we need to go. No, listen, you guys get Eri to safety. I'll stay in the city and I'll try and work with the heroes. Izuku, are you sure that's a good option? I'm sure. Listen, this is my opportunity. What? If someone gets to All for One, if he gets out, things will be bad. In Tartarus Prison, he's captured. In Tartarus, I can get to him. But at the same time, I need to stop All for One from getting out. If he gets out into the world, who knows what will happen. Now, the girls do to agree. And right now, Eri, she actually is trying to tell Deku to be careful, but most importantly, she doesn't want him to go. And Deku, he actually is going to turn and run. Now, a lot of people do see this guy run away from a vehicle. And while certain pros may think that he may have busted into it, there actually is whenever wings sprout from his back, and Deku does actually somewhat bring his hands downwards. As right now, after Deku does have a set of dragon wings pop out of his back, there actually is a large set of bat wings. And then Deku, he immediately blasts down with his palms as a large concussive force of air blasts Deku into the distance. Now, there actually is over back at the prison. Right now, Gigantomachia, he is marching forwards. And whenever he does come into sight, there actually is where they do make a decision. They collapse a part of the bridge. That way, Gigantomachia, if he does try to come onto it, he'll have to go into the water and either try to swim or try to march forwards holding his breath. And they're not too sure if he can hold his breath because he's too heavy. His mass is too large. And by that time, he'll either pass out or drown. Now, there actually is Mirio. And whenever Mirio does see Gigantomachia, he actually does get ready. As right now he does stand there in his new hero suit that has actually been modified by both David and Melissa's shield. This suit has been modified to handle the stress One For All puts on his body. And it actually is, more or less, an iron lung for him. If the suit is damaged, Mirio can't go beyond a certain percentage, because the strain is too much on his body. Now, Mirio, he actually goes flying forwards. And right now, the moment Gigantomachia does see Mirio, he actually is going to bring up his large hand. And Mirio, he immediately does bring out his left hand and smash Gigantomachia with his left hand. Gigantomachia actually being pushed backwards as Mirio does go rushing forwards and smashes him directly center mass in the chest. Mirio, after he does go flying backwards, he does try to at least alert the people here. Right now, Gigantomachia is too powerful for them to handle. He'll try to hold him off until more pros get here. Right now, get to safety. Call anyone they can. This guy is too powerful. Him rushing back forwards. And right now he does with both hands smash Tricky into Gigantomachia and try and move him backwards. But the man's too powerful. And whenever Mirio, he actually does get too close to Gigantomachia, the man brings out his big hand and tries to smash downwards towards him. Mirio having to actually fly backwards up into the air using Danger Sense to get away from the attack. And the ground shakes because of the force. And right now Mirio, he actually goes flying backwards towards the bridge, but with Black Whip bringing it back. Him actually having the tendrils fly out and grab onto a piece of metal. Mirio still flying backwards, as right now he actually slingshot himself back towards Gigantomachia. Him smashing into the man with a giant kick. Now, Deku, Gigantomachia gets hit with a full force kick from Mirio. And right now, Deku, he actually is trying to get there fast. He needs to make sure All For One is still in prison. If that man gets out, then there's no telling what will happen in this war. But he's missing something, isn't he? The Meta Liberation Army, they're not allied with the League of Villains, are they? But if that's the case, then why were they trying to become the new hero committee? Change the laws? No, that doesn't make sense. The original goal was for free-range quirk usage. What is he missing? What are the dots that do not connect here? Now, as that's all happening, we do cut back to Mirio. As right now Gigantomachia, he's smashing through the ground and trying to just get Mirio away from him. Mirio is a fly being swatted at. And right now the heroes, and many other people who are there, they're watching the current fight. These two are monsters when it comes to their power. Mirio has multiple abilities, a lot like All For One, and even Izuku Midoriya. But then there's this thing in front of them. This thing has multiple abilities too. I mean, the strength, the durability, and the way he's taking these blows like they're nothing. Those blows have to hurt. They're cutting through the ground with every force of the shockwave. Now, there are actions where Mirio does bring his hands up. And right now he does go to someone to use another quirk that he does believe will help him. Right now Mirio, after he does smash downwards onto the ground, he does bring his hands up and lunge forwards with another attack. Right now he does lower down his percentage of 1 for all. But that's because he's about to hit Gigantomachia with Fa Jin. Now, Deku comes rushing forward. Mirio comes rushing forwards. And right now after Mirio smashes into Gigantomachia, he does actually get hit with his blow. Him actually having a piece of his armor crack, as right now, there are actions where he's somewhat moved backwards more. And the man is somewhat going to scream out and roar. As right now we do actually have Deku. Deku just hear the loud sound. And right now as he was heading directly for Tartarus prison, he actually is going to turn his head, using marksman and seeing in the distance a large monster. Him bring up his right hand and moving his left hand down. As right now he actually just change course and begin to get ready. Now, Deku, he rushes in. And right now a lot of people, they're talking about what they do see. Right now there's something large up in the sky. And many, they don't know what that is. And right now there actually is Mirio. Mirio, after he does get sent blasting backwards by Gigantomachia, he does actually bring his hands up. Him going to Doki grab at the ground and spin his body. As Mirio does land, he actually does look up towards the sky. That's not Endeavor. Oh no, who is that? Now, right now Mirio, he's concerned. Gigantomachia is too powerful. Even whenever he's fighting this guy, he's strong. He doesn't have a good enough handle on 1 for all yet. He's been trying to use his other abilities, but learning more about them. Shit. Now, Mirio's concerned. However, he's a bit more concerned whenever someone has come rushing directly at Gigantomachia, smashing into him with full force. All of a sudden, there was a sonic boom, and then Gigantomachia was smashed directly into the face. Now, their actions where Deku, he asks to go flying downwards into the ground. And whenever Deku does smash down creating a crater, he actually does go to stand back up. And right now whenever Deku does get onto his feet and go to actually pop his neck, a lot of people do shout out about who the hell it is. And Mirio does look over to see him, his eyes widening and him getting a little bit more angry. As he actually is going to turn towards Deku, talking about how he really shouldn't be here. Are you serious? Listen, Deku brings his hands up, looking at Gigantomachia, telling him he just gained the quirks of that thing, and right now he needs his help. All for One can't get out of jail. Now, Mirio does hear those words. Deku's not here to help them. He's here to help the heroes? Right. Now, Mirio does turn back, and he actually does remember Deku's quirks. He can help here. Now, Deku does rush forwards, and right now Deku, whenever he does so, he does actually bring his hands up. Him actually opening his arm, as at his wrist there's a large cannon. And everybody do watch. Deku blasts us out with rifle. And Gigantomachia, he's smashed directly into the chest with a quirk. And it does nothing. And Deku, the moment he does see that, he actually does get a better understanding. As Gigantomachia does rush down towards him, smashing his fist down at him. And Deku does leap directly upwards into the air. His foot with a hole inside of it, blasting him upwards with concussive force. Now, Deku, the moment he is floating there in the air with one foot, he actually does try to think. Okay, let's see. Larger in size than normal. Gigantification has to be a possibility here. Armor, so there's that. No physical response from the pain. Now, Gigantomachia actually is annoyed. As right now, whenever Deku, he's flying there, he actually tries to rush towards him. And Deku immediately does bring his hands up. Him actually going to expand the size of his rifle, as whenever the barrel does get longer and longer, people do watch. And Deku, he immediately blasts off another large cannon. Now, the shot rings through the air, and Gigantomachia, he actually is running directly towards it. As whenever Gigantomachia increases in size, it goes from about to hit him directly in the eye to hitting him and bouncing off of his cheek. And Deku is annoyed. As right now Gigantomachia, he increases in size more. And Deku does see that. Gigantomachia immediately grabbing onto Deku and putting him in both of his hands, before trying to squeeze down and hurt Deku. Now, Deku, this wasn't part of his plan. And right now, whenever the rifle in his arm does somewhat break and crack a bit, Mirio does go rushing forwards. Him trying to smash Gigantomachia across the side of his face. Him flying in at high speed. And Deku, he does one thing that Mirio, he doesn't expect. After Deku, he turns into goo. And Gigantomachia actually doesn't pull his hands away, confused, before Deku, he actually doesn't wrap up around Gigantomachia's arms. And then, he actually just go shooting towards Gigantomachia's throat. Now, Gigantomachia, he doesn't know what to do. As right now, whenever Deku, he does use his immense strength, he does try to hold Gigantomachia in place. As Deku, he does go from actually holding onto Gigantomachia's wrist to actually just jumping directly to his throat. Now, whenever he does, Gigantomachia, he is trying to get this thing off of him. But Deku goes towards more the back of his neck and up onto his head. Now, whenever Deku does do that, there actually is Mirio. Mirio shouting out that he's crazy. As right now, he actually does blast around the side of Gigantomachia and bring up Black Whip. Him trying to bring it up to restrain the large beast. Now, Deku does smash downwards onto Gigantomachia's head and just try to hold on. Right now, he just turned this entire thing into a rodeo. And what's the best thing you do at a rodeo? It's strap in and hold on for dear life. Deku has an idea. If he takes all Gigantomachia's energy, then he will be inert. He'll pass out, and they can take him in. That's the best thing he can do here. That's the best option. This guy's quirks, gigantification, he doesn't feel pain, and his senses, they're blaring. All of his senses are just crazy. Now, Gigantomachia, he's annoyed. And right now, he doesn't feel an ounce of energy being dropped. And Deku, He knows he's stealing energy. He knows he's stockpiling it. He can feel it in his body. And there actually is Giganomakia, who this time he does show off another quirk. He does go to Ricky with his hands up, bring out the claws. Now, he actually starts to Ricky try and slash at and attack people. And Mario, he does feel danger sense go off, as he does go blasting upwards higher into the air. And Deku, he actually does bring his hands up and dodge the attack Giganomakia, brings Ricky down onto his own head. Now, Giganomakia smashes himself over the head, and right now Deku, he has to go blasting backwards and away. As whenever he does bring his hands backwards, he tries to blast back in. This time trying to focus. Okay, so he has a quirk called Double. Let's see, will this reaction be the same? Deku increasing in size twice. And then whenever people do see that, Deku does go blasting back in, smashing with both his feet, striking the back of Giganomakia's neck. Before, he does go moving backwards and trying again. Okay, he needs the mass. He needs the power. The weight that comes behind it would be enough. If he can match this guy in size, Deku will bring his hands up, and thinking. As whenever he does bring his hands up, he actually just feel his fingers. Okay, so let's see. Spear-like nail. I should work here. Now, Deku tries to activate this quirk. And Deku, whenever he does try to activate it, he does simultaneously activate Spear Nail and the mole quirk Giganomakia has. And Deku does see these claws. Now, Deku does get ready. As right now, there actually is over Mario. He has him smashing downwards and directly into Giganomakia's middle back again. And Giganomakia, he does just stand there. Now, other pros are showing up. And right now they do see the current situation. As Deku does some blasting in and immediately trying to use Giganomakia's quirk. And this time Deku, he does increase in size. Him immediately smashing downwards into Giganomakia's back and bring his hands down. Him grabbing onto him and immediately going to bring his hands up and around him. Him holding onto the large beast, as Mario, he does see two massive creatures. Now, Deku does hold on to the man. Him trying to drain him from energy and steal his quirks. However, Mario, he does watch. And right now he does him smashing downwards, increasing his percentage of one for all. And whenever he does so, he does actually push his body past the limit of the suit. Him cocking his hand backwards and smashing outwards at Giganomakia. Now, whenever Mario does send out his 100%, there actually is a massive shockwave. And Giganomakia, he actually isn't flying backwards with Deku, as Deku pulled him off of his feet. Now, Deku and Giganomakia do go blasting backwards into the ground. And Deku, he actually does go smashing onto the ground before going to get back up. Him doing so, they're actually looking towards Giganomakia, who does actually try to get back up as well. And then there actually is Mario. Mario, he does go to somewhat bring his hand up and grab onto his arm. He just broke it. And right now his arm is actually bleeding incredibly bad. However, he still needs to fight. He still needs to take down this villain. Now, there actually is Deku, who does go rushing towards Giganomakia and grabbing onto him. Him slashing towards him and trying to break through his armor. However, Giganomakia's own quirk Mole, it doesn't seem to work on his armor. And his body, he's just too durable. Now, Deku just tries to pummel Giganomakia over and over with his own super strength. Increased with Giganomakia's own quirk, the Giganification, this should be stronger. And right now Deku just smashed down. He smashes over and over and over. And right now everybody to watch. Izuku Midoriya, many classify as a vigilante. Many classify as a villain. But right now what many people classify him is as a hero. As right now their actions over Giganomakia, he's laying there taking the punches. And then their actions where Deku, he does his own bring up his hand and turn it into platinum, smashing it downwards into Giganomakia. And Giganomakia, he actually has bleeded his blow. And Deku just pulls his other hand backwards, smashing him down over and over again. Now, everybody just watch. It might as well be a giant cloud of dust. That's all they see. That's all they see, and all they do here is a repeated boom, boom, boom from the ground. And Mario, he does sit there. Every time he encounters this guy, he just grows. He gets better. Now, Mario, he is holding onto his arm, looking down at his own left hand. He has a one for all. He was given a second chance. But even then, with Dragonomakia here, trying to take the man on, he doesn't have the right amount of control of it yet. He needs to be able to push his body past that limit. It might kill him. It actually might kill him, but he has to. He has to save more people by then. Before then. If he's going to die, then he's going to die fighting. Now, Mario does go flying Doki upwards into the air. And right now, he actually does need to get ready. He is going to have to be serious with this. Right now, he needs to take down Dragonomakia in one solid blow. And he needs to at least alert Deku to this. If he's going to take out Dragonomakia, it might take him a second though. He needs to build up the momentum of Fa Jin. Build it up and use his quirk. If he doesn't, then he might not be able to break through Dragonomakia's armor. Now, the actual Mario does go flying forwards. And right whenever Deku does cock back his fist to smash downwards towards Dragonomakia again, Dragonomakia actually does bring his hand up. Him smashing Deku across the face, and right now actually trying to turn the tides on him. And Deku, he does currently smash downwards into the mountain, feeling trees being knocked against his skin. And Deku, he does hear them all crunch. As right now, the boom can be heard of Deku causing landslides. Now, Deku, whenever he does go to look up towards Dragonomakia, Dragonomakia actually is beaten. He does have bruises, he does have wounds on him, and he knows it. He doesn't have regeneration. Now, Deku does like that fact. Dragonomakia may not be able to regenerate, so that means he can die. Now, there actually is where Deku, he does look over. As whenever he does bring his hands up, he actually does grab onto Dragonomakia. The monster actually trying to scream out and, well, fight Deku. Dragonomakia is going into a rage. And Deku, he actually has Mario fly forwards telling him, as the men start to increase in size, that he needs to hold Dragonomakia still. He needs to go for an attack that can take him down. And Deku does try to tell him, as he does hold up the massive arms of the creature, that that's better said than done. Now, Mario does tell him, he needs to hold Dragonomakia still. Just try and manage that. He needs to take down this beast. And right now Deku, he does look at Dragonomakia. Him telling him about exactly how he is quite the foe, isn't he? And Dragonomakia does roar at him, as Deku does actually have two massive other arms come out from his sides. Them grabbing onto Dragonomakia's arms again, and two arms against one, each. As Deku does actually somewhat try and push Dragonomakia backwards and towards the water. Now, Deku has his own plan forming, and while Mario needs to build up momentum, Deku, he just needs the strength. Now, a 4-armed Dragonomakia versus a regular Dragonomakia. Currently the two do go moving backwards, and Deku, he does one simple thing. Dragonomakia, he's stupid. He doesn't think. Right now, there's all power and no brains in him. So what does Deku do? Right now, he needs to make sure that brain power doesn't exist. Now, Deku, right now he does Doki fly his foot directly forwards, smashing downwards into Dragonomakia's giant knee, and the man, he does somewhat scream out. As he does try to retaliate with a kick, Deku brings out his right foot, him using his foot to attack Dragonomakia's other giant leg, and pushing him backwards again. Now, Dragonomakia does go tumbling backwards into the water. And right now Deku, he does bring his hands downwards, holding Dragonomakia down. And right now a lot of people do see this. Right now Dragonomakia, he's being drowned. And a lot of people are confused. Is that even going to work on him? I mean, he can't die, can he? Now, Mayo, he actually doesn't want to turn and see that. Right now, Deku's trying to kill the villain, and he's not wanting that to happen. Shit. Now, Deku currently, he is trying to keep up. He's draining energy from this monster, but he's also tapping into more and more of his own. Right now, his body is trying to ration the energy. Whatever Jaganomaki's quirks are, they're good, but he's having to go all out. He's actually never encountered a beast like this before. It's interesting, to say the least. Somebody close to his own level. Now, Deku, he does want to get reminded of the Nomu, and he does think for a second. What is a good way to get to the brain? Could it be through the ear, or no, the eye? He tried to shoot Jaganomoki in the eye earlier, but he increased in size. Now, there actually is where Deku, he does feel something strange underneath him. And right now, Jaganomakia, he is immediately pulled away from the battle. Now, Deku, as he was holding Jaganomakia there, all of a sudden, he just disappeared. He felt the arms be let go of, or no, wait. Now, Deku actually is somewhat going to pull away and step back up. As right now, their actions are Deku's arms, they actually do show injuries. And Deku, he does look down towards them. Before he's going to directly bend down and look for Jaganomakia in the water. Him actually stepping in and looking around. As he's gone. He just... Now, Miro's come flying over. And when he does so, he just starts to ask, what the hell happened? Now, Deku does turn towards him. As he does start to shrink down, in his arms, they've already regenerated. As whenever Deku does stand there, he does tell Mirio. He's assuming that that was a portal quirk. And Mirio does go to land, talking about how that can't be possible. Right now, they have All For One and Kirigiri in custody. And Deku doesn't look towards Mirio. They have Kirigiri, the portal guy. Okay, listen. I need to get in there. No way. I don't even trust you. What did you even do with Eri? Where is she? She's safe, Mirio. What? She's safe, okay? That's all that matters right now. Right now, she's getting to safety. Right now, villains are trying to break out All For One. Right now, everything happening, Mirio, this is the war that people have talked about. What? Yeah. People talked about it for a while. One day, Japan might be thrust into a war, but they don't know what will happen. Right now, it's the Meta Liberation Army. They've said there would be a war for a while. They've said many things. Right now, they're attacking everywhere. Right now, emergency services and heroes are being overwhelmed. And there are people being broken out of prisons, alright? Everywhere. Every other prison besides Tartarus has probably already fallen. And you know what that means? Dangerous villains and murderers are all on the street now. Fuck. That's bad. Yeah, it is. How are you not winded? Energy. I absorb anything I take from my opponent. I absorb stamina, I absorb powers, and I also, well, I can also take more than that. What? Yeah. Jaganomakia had a lot of quirks. And right now, all those quirks are mine. Shit. So you're gonna try and get All For One, then? I want to kill him. You can't. He needs to be in prison. Mirio, we've had this song and dance before. It won't work. If All For One stays alive, then things will get bad. Now, a few people do come running up. And right now there actually is Endeavor and Eraserhead. And Deku does look towards both of the two. Deku looks directly towards Eraserhead. And the man does start to erase Deku's quirk, telling him to come with them, because he needs to go into custody. And Deku does look back towards Endeavor. He knows exactly who that man is. Endeavor is a pro, yes. Is he a good pro? Yes. Is he a good person? Ha! Fuck no. Now, Deku, he does directly glare at Endeavor like he's glaring at a villain. And Aizawa, he does notice that those eyes. Before he does step in front of Endeavor, telling Deku, right now is not the need for this. Right now, he needs to come with them because the hero agencies, they are being overwhelmed and they need his help. Now, Miura's looked directly back towards Aizawa, asking him what the hell is he talking about? They can't accept help from a villain like him. And Aizawa doesn't want to turn to Mirio, telling him, Deku just helped him take down Dragonomachia, didn't he? What? No, he helped me hold him off and defend Tartarus, but he wants all for one. He wants his powers and quirks. Mirio, do you really think that you can stop him in your condition? Mr. Aizawa, please. I can take him on right now if you keep your eyes open. Now, endeavor to step forwards, telling Mirio that right now, Deku, he has had a lot happen in his life. Yes, he kills, but he kills for good reasons. And Deku just looked towards Endeavor, and the man just stared back at him, informing him. He is a vigilante. He will do what is right, will he not? Right now, his power can be aiding them in this war. However, he's aware of his involvement with Mr. Nezu, and how him destroying the Hero Committee has changed the world. Is he not aware of that? I don't care. What? I got my revenge. I want to help. I need all for one. I need his powers. And he doesn't need to be alive for me to get them. Now, Mr. Aizawa is stared directly at Deku. The implication there is that Deku can take quirks from the dead. And right now, that is concerning. And they're actually whenever Mr. Aizawa to step forwards, telling Deku to stop and take a breath and calm down. Now, right now Mirio, he's going off. He wants to know what the hell to do here. Right now, Deku helped him. But he's a villain in his eyes. But he saved Eri. But where is Eri? What is going on right now? Now, Mr. Aizawa is going to turn off his quirk. And the moment he does, Deku just have dragon wings pop off his back, before turning and stepping away, telling Mr. Aizawa, right now, things are going to be bad. Right now, he has to go out and murder some villains. Right now, he's going to check other prisons. He'll be back for All for One later. And wherever he is going to turn the tides of what the hell just happened. Now, Mirio, he does look towards Deku. And Deku does tell him, right now, he needs to be aware. Using All Might's quirk is good, yeah. But from what he does understand, that quirk is getting bad. That quirk, it can kill him. Be careful. Now, Mirio's confused. And Deku's going to turn and blast away at high speeds. As you know, they're actually going to Mirio to turn back and ask them if they're going to go after him. If they're going to try and stop him. And right now, they don't know what to do. They need to try and find leads on Dragonomachia. And they need to help out elsewhere. Right now, the fact is, this place has no villains. Everywhere else, however, they're littered with them, full of them, packed to the brim. And they need to save civilians. Now, with that being said, Tartarus prison has been defended. However, that was just the first 24 hours of the war. So, how will things be going forwards? How will things change in the end? And exactly when will the villains make another attempt on Tartarus prison? Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.